Welcome to Mini Lecture 1C. In the next 10 minutes, I'm going to give you everything you need to start citing sources in AMA style, the 11th edition, which is the style we will use in this course. You do not have to memorize all of this today. Think of this lecture as a map you can come back to and keep the AMA quick reference handout open while you work. So let's get started. Now let's look at our goal for this mini lecture. Here is our single goal for today. By the end, you should be able to take a source and format it correctly in AMA 11th edition and place a citation correctly in your own writing. That is it. This skill carries through your whole project because your paper and your poster both depend on clean, consistent citations. Now, let's dive into the big picture of AMA style. The core idea is that AMA is a numbered system. AMA is what we call a numbered or Vancouver style system. The first source you cite is number 1. The second is number 2, and so on. This is the single biggest difference from APA or MLA, which order sources alphabetically by author. In AMA, order of appearance is everything. And once a source has a number, it keeps that number for the rest of the paper. This numbering system is key to understanding how AMA works, and it's a major shift from other styles you might know. Next, we'll look at how those numbers work in your actual text. Now that we understand AMA uses a numbered system, let's get into the specifics of how those numbers appear in your writing. Here are 4 quick rules for in-text citations. First, the number is a superscript, a small raised numeral. Second, reuse. If you cite source 1 again on page 5, it is still number 1, never a new number. Third, placement. The superscript goes outside periods and commas, but inside colons and semicolons. Fourth, when you cite several sources at once, separate them with commas and use a hyphen for 3 or more consecutive numbers. So 1 through 3 becomes 1-3. These rules are crucial for correctly integrating your sources. Next, we'll tackle how to format authors in your reference list. Now that we understand AMA uses a numbered system, let's get into the specifics of how those numbers appear in your writing. Authors cause more AMA mistakes than anything else, so slow down here. Write the surname, then the initials, with no periods and no spaces between them. So J period A becomes simply JA run together as JA with no spaces. Separate authors with commas only. Never the word and never an ampersand. Put a period after the final author, and the big one. If a source has more than 6 authors, you list only the first 3 and then et al. 6 or fewer, list them all. Next, we'll tackle how to format authors in your reference list. Now that we've covered author formatting, let's put it all together for journal articles. Here is the pattern for a journal article. The source type you will use most. Read it left to right by color. Plum is the author's. Black is the article title. In sentence case, meaning only the first word and proper nouns are capitalized and it is not italicized. Pink is the journal, which is abbreviated and italicized. Blue is the publication data, year, then volume, then issue in parentheses, then spaces, all packed together with no spaces. Then pages, all packed together with no spaces. And the gray at the end is the DOI. So lowercase DOI, a colon, and the number, with no space. Master this one pattern and you are most of the way there. Next, we'll look at some common errors. Let's look closely at a second example so the rules stick. First, sentence case. Notice the title capitalizes only the first word. No title case where every word is capitalized. Second, the journal here is histopathology, a single word, and AMA never abbreviates a one-word journal title, but it is still italicized. Third, notice the pages are written 401-410 with no PP in front. AMA does not use PP before page numbers. These three are among the most common errors I see. Journal names are always abbreviated and always italicized. You do not have to guess the abbreviation, and you should not invent it. Look it up in the PubMed Journals database or the NLM catalog, where every journal is listed exactly as it should be abbreviated. For example, the Journal of Histochemistry and Cytochemistry becomes J Histochem Cytochem, period. The one exception, a journal whose title is a single word is never abbreviated. Books follow a similar pattern with a few changes. Unlike article titles, book titles are in title case and italicized. Give the edition only if it is the second or later and abbreviate it. 8th ed, not 8th edition. And an important update in the 11th edition, you no longer include the publisher's city and state. Just the publisher name, a semicolon, and the year. Now let's talk about online sources. This is where DOIs become incredibly important. For anything online, a DOI is your best friend. Cite it as a lowercase DOI, a colon, then the number with no space, and no available at in front. A DOI is permanent, so it needs no access date. If a source has no DOI, then you add the word accessed, the date you viewed it, a period, and then the URL. And please avoid the phrases available at or retrieved from. Those belong to other styles, not AMA. Now before you submit your work, let's quickly review 5 common mistakes. These are the errors that trip up most people. If you catch these 5, you'll avoid the vast majority of AMA style issues. First, always remove periods and spaces from author initials. Second, change any article titles from title case to sentence case. Third, make sure you abbreviate any journal names you've spelled out. And fourth, delete any PP before page numbers. And finally, replace any APA-style author year citations with a superscript number. These 5 checks will help you master AMA style, and they're exactly what your practice set will focus on. We've covered a lot, so let's quickly recap the 3 most important takeaways. These rules are your foundation for correct AMA style. To recap, first, number your sources in the order they appear and reuse each number. Second, authors are surname plus initials with no periods or spaces, and more than 6 authors means first 3 plus et al. Third, article titles are sentence case, while journals are abbreviated in italic. When you are working, keep the AMA Quick Reference handout open. Use the PubMed Journals database for abbreviations and practice on the AMA practice set in this module. That set is built from exactly these rules. You've got this, and I will see you in the discussion.